the season that I won Celebrity Apprentice, there was an incident. And there was an incident where we were put on a clock. We had to finish a project in X amount of time. And the only thing that would stop the clock is a technical issue. So we needed more time. I took a pair of scissors, I cut the cord, and created a technical issue, which everyone loved. And ultimately, I believe it's probably why I went on and was crowned the champion. Setting that aside, okay, doing the first rule of the military, which is to improvise. As great as I did in that situation, it appears that I have a bit of a copycat. I have a bit of a fan. It would appear Congressman Bozeman went to the House floor and he had to cast a vote, and he only had a couple of minutes left. And that's a quote by him, a couple of minutes. Now, a couple of minutes is very loosely used. Like, there could be 40 minutes left and people will say, oh, I had a couple of minutes, right? It's one of those things. Couple is supposed to mean two. Maybe in this case it does. I don't know. He said a couple of minutes, and the point was he gets to the door. He gets to the door of the chamber, and it's locked. It's never locked, he says. It's locked. So he sees it's a fire alarm. And not a different fire alarm. The exact fire alarm that you guys saw in every school that you've ever gone to. The red one that you pull down. And then there's like rumors that go around school that when you pull it down, it shoots a red dye in your hand. So if you ever pull it accidentally, which is going to trigger the alarm to come, and it's going to turn the sprinklers on, it's going to ruin and mold out your entire school, but at least it won't burn down. They will catch you and they will arrest you. I don't know if that red dye is a real thing. I don't know. People used to tell me that in a swimming pool, don't pee in a swimming pool, it's got red dye. I will tell you, I never was in a pool where that red dye was an actual real thing, but it might be in the fire situation. I don't know. But it was that exact same red, pull it down, the alarms go off, and you must evacuate. And nobody ever messes with the integrity of the alarm. And I had a kid in school. Maybe you can match the story, but I had a kid in school do it. And they not only brought the police, they suspended him for 5 days. And under today's wussified standard, perhaps that doesn't catch you off guard. But back then, oh my God, this was the biggest troublemaker we'd ever met. Biggest troublemaker we'd ever made was suspended for an entire week. He had the police come to school. His mom and dad had to come get him. Some guy dared him and he pulled it. And I'm just sharing with you, it's a big deal. If you've ever been through it, it's a big deal. So, at any rate, Chael P buys time on Celebrity Apprentice as the only one that read the rule. It's the only one that knew there was one way to stop the clock. Right? I got 5 teammates that are sitting there with their thumb up their ass. I read the rule. The technical difficulty stops the clock. I created the difficulty, which I believe is probably why the governor anointed me Celebrity Apprentice. At any rate, the congressman is headed to the chamber. You must vote within X amount of time. You must. It's not just vote today. The polls will close, right? The ballots will close. If you can keep somebody out, if somebody gets stuck in a traffic accident, if somebody gets sick, if somebody in the hospital, it does not matter. They either voted or they didn't. It's pretty tough. And he gets to the door and the door's locked. So he pulls the fire alarm. And his story is he thought that was a buzzer and that it would buzz him in. It would alert somebody that he was trapped out here and a door that's normally opened is not opened. He thought he pulled a buzzer. He did not know it would evacuate the chamber in its entirety, which it appears it did just that. It did evacuate the chamber. And had enough people not voted, it literally could have affected the bill. That's what they're saying. And it turns out this congressman had seen me. He saw me, and he was paying some type of homage, or he was inspired in some way. Now, there is a little bit of a difference. When the governor asked me, Chael, why did you cut the cord? I said, because the rules say, technical difficulty, you'll buy us time, we needed it. And my 4 teammates, who were possibly illiterate, definitely drunk, didn't read or know the rule, or have the courage to step forward. That's why I did it. He said, Chael, you're hired. But What I'm sharing with you, moreover, is I told the truth. That's the truth. That's why I did it. It wasn't an accident. I wasn't attempting to repair the cord. I wasn't mad at the cord. I was trying to get time. I told the truth. And the cover-up is always worse than the crime. And Bozeman is saying, I thought it was a buzzer to get me in. That's what he's saying. That could be true. I could not speak to his mental state. I can tell you that he used to be a principal of a middle school, and it's the exact same alarm. And if you wanted game, set, match, you would find somebody from that middle school and all those years he was there that pulled that alarm, and you'd find out what he did to them. If he punished them, his story's not going to hold. But the whole thing happens to be caught on video. And I'm watching his mannerisms. And I know this is an actor. Like, I know this is a high-level dirtbag. I was just saying, the same guy that won the Celebrity Apprentice. It's a high-level dirtbag that knows when the camera's on, knows the expressions to make. He knew where the camera was. He knew exactly what he was doing. But if you do go watch the tape, his mannerisms were as such that he was trying to get someone's attention and get in the door. I thought he sold it pretty well. The cover-up is worse than the crime. Ultimately, it's a misdemeanor. He could say, I juxtaposed a misdemeanor for pulling this alarm and clearing the chamber against a government shutdown that I was attempting to avoid. I won. I got my way. Give me the citation. He could do that. He'd go out like Chael. He'd go out like a gangster. But it wasn't his route. And he might hold up. But either way, it's national news. I inspired the guy who inspired the alarm poll that made national news.